Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear students. Taking Introduction to Linguistics this summer semester. This is our first online lecture pertaining to syntax. As you recall, syntax is a very important scope of linguistics, and we said in so different times that syntax is the study of the arrangement of words into meaningful sentences. As you know, there is a very important feature of languages, which is the compositionality. So we have the verb compose. Compositionality means dividing larger chunks or dividing larger units into smaller units. If we think about, a unit of discourse, let me say, for example, a text. So a text can be easily broken into paragraphs, and paragraphs can be easily divided or broken into sentences. This is number one. So a sentence or sentences can be easily broken into clauses because we know how to divide larger chunks or larger units into smaller ones. So clauses are easily divided or broken into phrases, phrases into words. We know how to divide, how to break phrases into words, and words into morphemes, and morphemes into phonemes. Phonemes means the smallest linguistic sound of unit, and this is the smallest linguistic meaningful unit. So this is very important. A sentence must necessarily contain words or phrases. So today, inshallah, we are going to be acquainted or to be familiar with something called the clauses, called the phrases. Why is it important to be familiar with the phrases? Because this will help us analyze sentences. Okay, when we say description of sentences. So number one, we have something called categorical description, and we have something called functional description. What is meant by categorical description and functional description? This is number one, and this is number two. Categorical description means that the sentence is divided into phrases, and we have different kinds of phrases. We will deal with them one by one. Okay, number one, we have noun phrase. Noun, a phrase. Number two, we have something called verb phrase. Number three, we have something called adjective phrase. Number three, adverb phrase. Adverb phrase. And number five, we have something called a verb phrase. A noun phrase must consist of a noun or a group of words where the noun is the head. It's the most important part. If I say, for example, he is a noun phrase. If I say this indefinite pronoun, someone, is a noun phrase. If I say the black cat, this is a noun phrase. That's the noun, the black cat. If I say the English young man, that is a noun phrase. If I say my coming to class early, that is a noun phrase. Verb phrase, for example, can consist of one word. If I say go, this is a verb phrase. To go is a verb phrase. Will be going is a noun phrase. As you see, that is a verb phrase. To go is a verb phrase. Will be going is a verb phrase. So that is the lexical verb. That is the head. We have adjective phrase. Adjective phrase can be a single word like beautiful, nice, old, and it can be 2 or 3 words because we have something called a pre-modifier. Like when I say quick, okay, very fast, very beautiful, If I say quite cheap, quite cheap. As you see in the adjective phrase, there must be an adjective. As you see, beautiful, cheap. This is a pre-modifier because it pre-modifies the adjective cheap. An adverb phrase must consist adverb. So once again, a phrase can be a single word, 2 words, 3 words. We will study this in detail. So adverb phrase, for example, if I say very quickly, okay, if I say highly, beautifully. So I've done it beautifully, quickly, rapidly, elegantly, frankly. All these are adverb phrases. Then we have something called adverb, so okay, adverb phrase, which is a prepositional phrase. There must be a preposition, I would say, in the car. In the car. At 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock. As you see, we have a preposition. We have the prepositions. I would say near Gaza. I would say on the table. On the table. So all these are adverb phrases. As you see, the head word is the preposition. Okay, then we have 5 types of phrases. Number 1, noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and a prepositional phrase. So a phrase can be divided into single words and so on. Now we will start talking about the noun phrase, and we will see how we are going to do it on a tree diagram. I mean, to represent this on a tree diagram. So remember that we have some elements that come before the head noun in the noun phrase, like articles, like possessives, and like demonstratives, and so on. But we don't want to make things very complex because this is an introductory course to syntax, because you're going to study syntax in a later course. If I say John, okay, if I say John was okay at school. John was at school. We say John is a noun phrase. Is a noun phrase. This is categorical description, which is the subject. This is categorical description, and was is a verb phrase. And at school is a verb phrase, is a verb phrase. And sometimes we have this symbol PP, which means a verb phrase, not past participle. Okay, on the tree diagram, if we want to focus on this, John, because this is a proper noun functioning as a subject, which is a noun phrase. So if we have sentence here, we have sentence. So a sentence. So we have this, we have noun phrase, and we have verb phrase. So a sentence must necessarily contain a noun phrase and a verb phrase, because that's the predicate. So the noun phrase here, we have a proper noun. Okay, that is the noun, proper noun, اسم العلم, or noun, that is John, John. And then we have the verb phrase. As you see, verb phrase. Here we have verb, and here we have a verb phrase, because at school we have another row, we have a verb phrase. Okay, see this, a verb phrase is divided into 2 elements. We have the prepositions, and we have the noun. So see this? Here we have John, and we have the verb is, then we have the preposition at, then we have school. As you see it's not difficult to divide the sentence, to break the sentence into its other elements or smaller parts, which are phrases. As you see, here we have sentence. A sentence is divided according to the sentence into noun phrase and verb phrase. If we just look at the verb phrase was, okay, so we have a preposition. This is, okay, the complement. John was, where, at school. So we have a verb phrase. Then we have these two rows, preposition and noun preposition. Then we have another row at school. But now we want to make things simpler to you. Once again, this is categorical description. If I say, okay, the man. Okay, the man, okay, if you see, this is noun phrase. This is at the smallest level, noun phrase. So we have noun, and we have, okay, noun and, noun phrase. We have determiner here. We have determiner, noun phrase. We have determiner, noun phrase. See this. We have here, okay, because the man, this is, we call it article or determiner. So you can do it like this, article or determiner. It's up to you. They are the same. And here we have noun. We have noun. So the determiner is okay, the, and the noun is man. Man, okay, so the man. So that is a noun phrase, the man. If we just insert an adjective, okay, the young man, or I would say the black man. The black man. So the same, because we have an adjective here, so we will have 3 rows. Now here we have this, we just add adjective. We add adjective, and then we have to say the black man, the black man. So look at this once again, noun phrase. We have the article or determiner, this one, and then we have the black adjective. So because this is part of the noun phrase, and then we have the head, where the head noun, that is man. So the most important word in the noun phrase is the noun, okay? That is the most important part or element in the noun phrase, because without it, there will not be a meaning or any meaning, okay? So another example, if we say, the strong, young man, okay, the strong young girl, if you see. So once again, that is a noun phrase. So all this is called a noun phrase. So the head word is the word girl. So noun phrase, see this? Noun phrase. Here we have determiner or article. We have article or determiner. And we have adjective number 1, adjective number 1, and we have adjective number 2, and then we have the noun. So we have this. So it's the, then we have strong, then we have young, and then we have girl. So I would say the girl, okay, the girl. So these are pre-modifiers. These are pre-modifiers, okay? Once again, they describe the head noun, which is girl. It's clear, hopefully, that you get things really well, as you see now in a phrase. Now we're swiftly moving on to something called verb phrase. Verb phrase. On the tree diagram, the verb phrase must consist of 2 important elements, the verb and other construction, noun phrase, if it is a transitive verb. Let's say, for example, okay, Jane Jane lives. Jane lives here. Jane lives here. Okay. Jane bought. Okay, Jane has bought or bought a nice car. Okay, so the word lives is a verb phrase and the word bought is a verb phrase. We want to do this on the tree diagram. So number one, we have this verb phrase, as you see. Here we have verb, and here we have adverb phrase. Adverb phrase. So we have, okay, lives. And here we have, okay, here. We have here, so this is verb phrase because we have an adverb. So this is obligatory. So verb phrase, we have this. Raw verb, lexical verb, and then we have adverb phrase. Adverb phrase, we have the adverb, okay, that is here, okay? Adverb phrase, we have here. This is very clear, hopefully. Okay, let's do the whole sentence. Here we have sentence. As you see, we have noun phrase, and we have verb phrase. Let's focus on the noun phrase because we have only one element. So that is a proper noun. That is a proper noun. So we have Jane, and the verb phrase here we have verb phrase, and we have adverb phrase. And verb phrase, here we have adverb. We have adverb, and here the verb. Okay, sorry, we have the verb that is lives, and the adverb is here. So this is very clear now. So a sentence, as you see, because we have Jane lives here. So sentence, noun phrase, we have a proper noun or noun, you can say Jane. And okay, the other element is verb phrase because we have lives here. Lives here, this is adverb. So we have verb, and then we have adverb phrase. From adverb phrase is divided into two elements, but here because we have one, okay, that is adverb of a place, so we have adverb here, okay, then we have this full stop. So it is easy to break the sentence into phrases as you see. Okay, now we will try the second sentence. Sentence number two, where we see things in much more details. Okay, here we have subject. This is the noun phrase, and this is the verb phrase, as you see, and we have a nice car is another noun phrase functioning as object. So this is subject, and this is a transitive verb, and this is object. Okay, we will do this now step by step. Okay, noun phrase, verb phrase. So once again, Jane bought what? Bought a nice car. Okay, so we have sentence. As you see, a sentence is divided into two parts. It must have a noun phrase, and it must have a verb phrase. Okay, if I say, okay, instead of the word Jane, I would say the old lady. Let's say the old lady. So the noun phrase, so it's divided into three elements. As you see, we have article, and we have adjective, and we have noun. And then the verb phrase, okay, we have two parts. Number one, okay, the verb, and then we have here, okay, another noun phrase. Okay, we have here once again, we have article, we have adjective, and we have noun here. So we have article, which is indefinite article, and here we have adjective, and here we have, okay, noun. We have noun, okay? So once again, article, we have the adjective is old, And then we have lady. As you see, this is a noun phrase. So the noun phrase here consists of the article, okay, it's determiner, and the adjective and lady. So these are the pre-modifiers, don't forget this, and the verb, which is a transitive verb, past, it's bought. And then we have the other noun phrase, noun phrase two. So we have a, this is indefinite article, and we have the adjective nice, and then we have the word car. That is the head noun. As you see, it is very easy to divide the sentence or to break the sentence into phrases. So this is at the level of noun phrase and verb phrase. Remember, verb phrase, okay, is divided into two things. We have verb and we have noun phrase. But if the verb is intransitive, if the verb doesn't take an object, so we will not have something called noun phrase, okay, because this is intransitive verb. I'll give an example of intransitive verb. If I say the cat has died, the cat has died. So because the verb died is intransitive verb, it doesn't take an object. So we have this, the cat is a noun phrase, and has died is a verb phrase consisting of an auxiliary has and the lexical verb or the main word, which is died. Let's represent this on a tree diagram so things are easier. Okay, so now we have a sentence. It must have two important rows, that is noun phrase and verb phrase. And verb phrase, as you see, the noun phrase, because we have the article and the noun. Here we have article or determiner, either of them is right. And then we have noun. Okay, here we have verb phrase, we have verb. Okay, we have verb. So as you see, then the noun is cat. Cat, okay, and we have the verb has died. Has died. Sometimes the verb, you can say, is classified into two things. Sometimes the verb itself, you have to say auxiliary. And okay, we have lexical verb. So auxiliary is has. And okay, and died. You will study this in later stages, but not now. Okay, so dear students, this is all about verb phrases. Swiftly moving on to adjective phrases. To adjective phrases. So an adjective phrase. Okay, adjective phrase. If I say, okay, the word beautiful, that is an adjective phrase. If I say very beautiful, if I say pretty good, if I say absolutely difficult. So all these are adjective phrases. Here we have adjective phrase, as you see. Here we have, okay, this divide into two things. We have adverb of degree. You can say in a degree. Here we have adjective. What is the degree? Degree is very, and adjective is beautiful, and so on. So we call these very pretty, absolutely adjectives or adverbs of degree, and they can pre-modify adjectives. Thank you so much, dear students. This is part one. Just hopefully that you are familiar with some abbreviations.